So I had this character. I wanted to do something with this character, but I couldn't really until now find a way to make this character exist in an illustration I was really feeling connected to. I couldn't find the, I don't know, I guess you can say the creative juice. I wasn't really happy with the setting, and but I like the character with its umbrella, and I like the theme that is behind, which is kind of the, I don't know, we could say, I think the Stockholm syndrome, which can exist between what is the name in English already? When there is a relation of persecution between a victim and its persecutors, yeah, there is often this deep connection between both, where the victim starts to be in some way happy with the persecution relationship. For some reason, I wanted frog in this image. Right now, I don't know why, but I think this character has some sort of, I don't know, patrician kind of feeling for me. And yeah, these elements I've been dropping in here are just things I'm throwing in a scene in the brush, just to try to figure out how the elements could tell a story together. So it's really like sketching. I'm not trying to do something beautiful, or most of the time this is only something I'm doing for myself. I don't share this very early sketches, 3D sketches with anyone. I try to have a sense of camera and focal length to see if the shapes I'm designing in the brush can have an interesting projection through different focal lengths. So this is something I like to experiment to see if I will need to use a longer lens, for example, or if I can go for a shorter lens. This car, I already know right now. I start to have a better idea of what I want to do, and I know this car is going to disappear, and this frog is going to be blown up in excessively high proportion. I want to have like this absolutely giant frog in the scene. So yeah, let's talk about what I have in mind. So the other day I opened my computer, and in Windows 10 I have like this Bing screen suggestion. So the suggestion of the day, it was these two frogs, and I really loved what happened with this frog. I mean, the camera could be even lower towards the horizon line, so to exaggerate their proportion. I really like their skin texture. I love their patterns they have on their screen of lighter values and darker values. I think it can create really interesting graphical settings. And when I saw that, a lot of things I had in my mind, I wanted to connect together, just came together. So the story immediately came, and it might change, I don't know. But right now I start to have a story about what I want in this image, which I'm going to explain in a little bit. I also found, just by messing around in Google Image, I found this spider, and I really love this spider. I really love the shape, the silhouette shape, which is really rounded, which I think have somehow a shape language that can work with this frog. And yeah, I love these 4 big eyes, because it makes that spider look not that scary, but a bit cute, I don't know. But it's still a spider, so yeah, depends on people. I'm not totally in love with spiders, so I like the opposition between the cute appearance of the spider and the fact that it is still a spider, and it can suscitate for many people a lot of rejection. I found this picture. I like the silhouette of the frog right now, the silhouette it creates. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use this, because I start to have a good idea about the composition, so I don't know if this kind of a view of a frog can work, but I just want to have it not far. Yeah, so this one I like again the patterns. Yeah. Dark white, I think it can create something very interesting. Yeah, I love fractals, so I'm often going on the internet and try to find interesting 3D fractals renders, and I really like this one, especially once again the patterns of this dark red and this greyish cyans, which I think are quite interesting, and I think I'd like to bring that kind of contrast and maybe colors in the image. Yeah, this one I don't know. I thought I would have it. Maybe it could inspire me to create some shapes, I don't know. So I could go through sketching in Photoshop, but actually I have such a defined idea of what I want that I think I'm going to jump in Photoshop. In ZBrush right away to start to define my composition. So I already have the main characters, and my idea is that this character, he's going to fish on a very small boat, and he's going to fish with, I think, a child. I'm not sure if it's going to be a child or what's the name again? Or a doll. Maybe it's going to be a doll, or maybe it's going to be a child, but if it's going to be a child, the child is going to be objectived by this character, so anyway it's going to be treated like it's not a human being, which I want to emphasize in this image. So as I said, this is a thing I want to have a theme I really want to cover, which is the kind of Stockholm Syndrome thing. I'm sure right now it's not. I hope you are going to be with me, because I really try to share my creative process, and there is a lot of question in my creative process all of the time. So I'm generally solving the story as I'm going through the image, and things like composition and starting to think in terms of lighting and having elements in the scene which I'm looking at through a camera often help me a lot to solve the story. So this character, I want to keep this triangular shape on the side, which here was meant to exist because of wind, but now I want it to have his legs. I want it to be like in trying to keep its balance on the boat, because it's going to fish something, probably a giant fish, a huge giant fish, with this doll or these children. And when he's going to pull out, the prey, the fish is going to jump out of the water, and at the moment where it's going to jump out of the water to catch this prey, these elements that he's fishing with, a giant frog, a huge giant frog in the background, is going to use its tongue to catch the fish. So what I want to suggest is that maybe there is a symbiosis between this character, which is actually using this child or this doll to fish in order to help these giant frogs and maybe this giant spider to catch some fish. A lot of the elements of the puzzle aren't solved at all right now. So, but this is basic idea that I want to cover. So I think what I'm going to do right now that I have presented the overall idea of the image and what I have in mind, I think I'm going to go through a more silent moment where I'm just going to sketch the basics elements, and this is going to be time-lapse for you, so it's not going to be super boring to watch at, because it's not necessary, I think, that you see each and every element in real time, and it's going to be difficult for me to comment each and everything. So maybe each hour I'm going to come back to a real time commenting to explain at which moment I am in my creative process and what I have in mind. It's at this very moment. So yeah, let's try this, and thanks for taking the time to staying with me in my totally messy and super bizarre creative process.